Yeah, fantastic. Oh gosh, I am recording. I didn't realise. Okay, hello. Um, bass line for Solsbury Hill. The main thing you're going to find difficulty about this is, like I said, that it's in 7/4. So instead of our usual 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, let me put that down a bit. Our the usual time of pop songs, rock songs is 4/4. This is 7/4. So instead of that feel of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2. Let me turn up slightly. So let me count that along to the song. That'll help, I think. Now, as I put the song on, I think the volume is going to shoot up, so I'll just turn it down a bit. So what I'm going to play you is the video of the guy playing bass along to the song, the video that I've sent you a link to, yeah? So I'll play this video, and hopefully you can hear me count at the same time, yeah? Now, I'm not going to count. Let me put myself back in the picture here. See that I'm not going to count to 7. I'm not going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, which is absolutely fine. You could do, but what I am going to do is split the 7 into 4 and 3, into a count of 4 and 3. Why am I going to do that? Well, it's based around the pulse, how it feels, what's being played in the music. Does it feel like it's every beat of 7 is absolutely even? Usually not when you get time signatures of odd numbers like that. Usually you feel that what's happening in the music is split into smaller units. And I'll show you what I mean. If you listen to the guitar figure, the guitar riff, it goes do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we've got a musical phrase which takes up 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. Then a 3-beat section. Yeah. So the feel that's why we're calling this 7/4, because what's being played, the musical figures that are being played, fit into 7 beats rather than the more typical 4 or 8, multiples of 4. So let me put this on, and hopefully you'll be able to hear my voice at the same time as this, because I'll count along. Here we go.
Solsbury Hill, I could see the city light. Wind was blowing, time stood still. Eagle flew out of the night. He was something to himself.
Okay, so where am I? There. Okay, so if you notice there, I kept counting. I kept grouping my 7, splitting my 7 into 4s and 3s. And I swapped around at one point, and that's because the pulse of what's happening, the emphases can change of where the emphases are coming within our 7 beats. So before Peter Gabriel starts singing, the feel is, what was that? It's 3 and 4. I felt it was bum, 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then as soon as he starts singing, it feels like it's more 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So the feel swaps around from a group of 3 and a group of 4 to a group of 4 and a group of 3. It's it's slightly subjective in this song as to where you feel the grouping comes. You might feel, I mean, certainly at the beginning, it definitely feels like group of 3 and a group of 4. Let me just play that again. Take it back to the beginning. Here we go. Because you got that do 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 ba 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 1 2 3 1 2 3. Because you got that do do do, that phrase, that melodic phrase, which takes up 3 beats, and then you've got a sort of reply to it, which takes up 4 beats. So you got bum bum bum. That's a build up to beat 1. Ba ba ba. That was 3 beats, and then you hear ba 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 bum bum bum. And I just clicked 4 times there. Then you have it again. Bum, bum, bum. 3 beats. Bum, 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 bum. 4 beats. And then you have 3 beats again. Okay? So this is our venture into new time signatures. So we've got this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. When he starts singing, when Peter Gabriel starts singing, you can continue to count if it feels more natural to you. You can continue that count of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever helps you, or you can swap it around like I did just then and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you'll get used to it. This will take some getting used to. Yeah, it took me some getting used to. Even though the bass line itself is very simple, because let me show you what the bass player is doing. So he's playing, we've got our beats, and it's written as 7/4, which means there's 7 crotchets, yeah, in a beat. That doesn't matter too much. It's just about whether they're crotchets or quavers doesn't matter too much. That's really about how fast things are going by, how fast the tempo is, and so what makes more sense in terms of writing it. But we've got, people write this as 7/4, and anyway, the main point is that the bass player is playing a note on the beat. We hear 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. Or of course I could count it as 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so that's what he's doing. He's just playing one note on the beat. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, he does a little bit at the end of each bar sometimes. So not at the end of each bar, but at the end of a lot of bars. He plays the and as well. So, for example, 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 and 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 and. Okay, so what am I doing? This song is going to be on the 7th fret of the low E string. That's your first note. The note is B. When you see this written for guitar and you see the chords, it'll say A because they have a capo on the 2nd fret. So they're playing the chord shape A, but it's actually the pitch of B. And yeah, most of the song, pretty much all the song, is between frets 7 and 4. So our first note is fret 7 of the low E string. And we're going to have fret 4 of the low E string. That's going to be the next note. And that'll go back and forth a bit. Back to fret 7. Then, yeah, that'll happen twice. I'll get into how many times exactly in a minute. And then we've got fret 7 and fret 4 on the A string. Yeah. So here the notes are: 7th fret of the A string is E, 4th fret of the A string is C sharp. Yeah. So we've got the notes B, G sharp, E, C sharp. Yeah. And we've basically got 2 bars of 7/4 on each chord. So we've got 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 Okay, 2 bars of 7/4, and so I counted 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 twice when I was on fret 7, then I counted it twice when I was on fret 4, and then I came back to fret 7. So we've got 2 bars, it's 2 bars for each chord. When we get to the 7th fret of the A string, it's 2 bars on that, 2 bars of 7/4, and then when we get to the 4th fret here, it's 2 bars of that note, of that chord as well. Yeah? Okay. So let me show you the little extra bits I was putting in, and then we'll get on to the structure of the song. So I'm just playing, for the most part, I'm playing, like I said, just on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm putting in an and sometimes. You'll see the guy in the video, you'll hear. So what is that? He's playing fret 7, and then he plays an and he just simply takes his finger off the string so that you get an open E string. Yeah. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. I could be counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1 and 2. But I'm not going to count all that because I don't need to. I only need to count the end. Sorry, I only need to count the and. I only need to count the and on beat 7 when I need to count and, because I'm going to put a note on the and that's going to be that open E string. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay? Hopefully that's okay. Now, the duration of the notes, it's not sustained, it's not legato, it's not. Yeah, that's sustained. It's this. Yeah, that boom, 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 the staccato punch. How do you get that? I do it with both hands. Both hands. But you could just do it with this picking hand. You could leave this finger pressed down on the fretboard, and as you do your walking fingers, well, as soon as you pluck, you put the other finger on the string. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. As soon as you pluck, you put the, well, almost as soon as you pluck, depends how long you want the note to ring out, you put the other finger on the string to stop the note. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Okay, so remember we've got 2 bars of 7/4 on each chord. So in the first bar, when I'm on the first note, which is 7th fret of the low E string, for my first bar, I'm going to end my first bar with what I just did, which was the open E string. So I'll be going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and. But then my second bar of 7/4, that's going to lead me down to this note, yeah, on the 4th fret of the low E string. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Yeah, so I went 7th fret, 6th fret, and then got to the 4th fret. For my count again, I'm going to spend 2 bars of 7/4 on this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you could do your and. You could take your finger off the string and have an open E string there. Doesn't sound quite as good as the B note and then the E note. It doesn't sound bad. So you could do that. You could, as you were doing up here, you could, for the and on beat 7, you could take your finger off. Or you could do this thing very typically done by bass players, which is called the ghost note, yeah, which is your finger is muting the string. So you're not pressing down, you've released the pressure. So instead of the note that you can hear, release the pressure, but keep touching the string, and then you pluck the string, and you get that sound, that percussive thud. Yeah. So here I might go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mucked it up a bit there, but 4 and. Yeah, just to put a bit of variation in there. Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 and. 4 and. So with this, it's about the finger either being pressed down to get the note or released, but still touching the string so that you've got the muted sound. Yeah. So that's what I would do at the end of my first bar on this note, fret 4. But on the end of my second bar, I would climb up back here using fret 6 again. Just as I used fret 6 to climb down, I went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Yeah? Okay, so that's the technique that I'm using. So now, let me see. I'll try and find the lyrics and count along to that. No, I won't. Will I do that? I don't know if I know it well enough. But basically, what you've got is 2 bars on this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 1, 2, 3. Then you got 2 bars on each chord again. Okay, so I had 2 bars of 7 on the B, 7th fret. Then I had 2 bars on the 4th fret, the G sharp. Then I got 2 bars again on the 7th fret, and then I got 2 bars again on the 4th fret. Yeah. Then the chord changes to the 7th fret of the A string. Yeah. And then you got 2 bars on that. Okay. Now let me play that bit. Fast forward.
Eagle flew out on the night. He was something to himself. Coming close, I heard a voice.
Actually, let me count you through from when he starts singing so that you can hear 2 bars on this 7th fret, 2 bars on 4th fret, then 2 bars on 7th fret, and 2 bars on 4th fret again. And then we'll get to this note, the E note, okay? And when I'm saying 2 bars on each, I'm talking about from when he starts singing, okay? So the intro, the intro is, let's check it out. Okay, so that was 4 bars of 7 on the B string, yeah? Let me take you through it again.
Climbing up on Solsbury Hill, I could see the city light. Wind was blowing, time stood still. Eagle flew out on the night. He was something to himself. Coming close, I heard a voice. Standing, stretching every nerve. Had to listen, had no choice.
There, up to there, we've done, like I said, 2 bars on the 7th fret, 2 bars on the 4th fret, 2 bars on the 7th fret, 2 bars on the 4th fret. Now, let's go from there and see what happens on the 7th fret of the A string and then the 7th fret of the 7th fret of the A string and then 4th fret of the A string.
Stretching every nerve, had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information. I just had to trust imagination. My heart goes on. So you said, record things I couldn't take you home.
Okay, now this is where it starts to get a bit complicated. Just at that point in the song where the lyrics are boom, 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 just after that, instead of bars of 7/4, there's 2 bars of 4/4. Now the guy playing bass in the video, it was the best video I could find, and he does it pretty well, but he clearly gets slightly confused by the timing, and you know, it is unusual. We're not used to 7/4 because we just hear 4/4 all the time. And if you look at any of the live performances and you hear the audience clap along, you usually hear them, yeah, one, bang, bang, bang. There's this wonderful driving beat and they're all having, you know, great fun with that. And then it gets to that section where the bars change from just 7/4 again and again to 2 bars of 4/4, and the clapping, they get a bit lost. Because you know, we're not used to it. So I've realized this video is going on a long time and there's a lot to take in, so I just want to get this point and then I'll stop. Okay, so we've got 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3, 2 bars on fret 7, then 1 2 3 4. In fact, let me just go through that again.
Standing, stretching every nerve, had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information. I just had to trust imagination. My heart goes on. So you said, record things I couldn't take you home.
Let's just go that far. Okay, so you've got 2 bars on fret 7 of the A string. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. And I keep forgetting actually. Let's just do it again. Sorry, let me just get that again.
I just had to trust imagination. My heart goes on. Had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information. I just had to trust imagination. My heart goes on. So you said, record things I couldn't take.
Yeah, sorry. So I got it slightly wrong there. See, it is confusing. We got 2 bars on the E. That's great. 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 boom boom boom. Yeah, we've just got 1 bar of 7/4 on the 4th fret of the A string, and what you hear the bass do is you hear them play the first 4 beats, 1 2 3 4. Then you have the lyrics boom, 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 which takes up 3 beats. So we just played 4, so 4 plus 3, 7. So that's our bar of 7/4 there. Then you have 2 bars of 4/4. In the first bar of 4/4, certainly on the record and generally in performances, the bass player doesn't play. Sometimes you'll hear just this hit and a slide down, which isn't really giving you anything in much of timing, it's just an effect. But then he does play on the second bar of 4/4 where the lyrics are so boom 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 son, I've come to take you home. Now I don't know the lyrics well enough, but something about son, I've come to take you home. But this line 1 2 3 4, it's all on the beat. It's all, I mean, on 1 2 3 4, it's on the 4 beats of that bar of 4/4, and it's on the A string. It's 4th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, and then we're back into 7/4 time. Yeah. Let me just play along with it again, and I'll show you what I mean.
Had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information. I just had to trust imagination. My heart goes on. You said, grab your things, I'm gonna take you home. Given silence, I resigned.
Okay, let's pretty much leave it there because I realise this video is getting very long. It's difficult stuff, but I hope this makes it clear, and we can always go over it in a Zoom lesson. What I just did then, so there was that bar of 4/4 where you don't play anything, then the 1, 2, 3, 4, that climb up, and then I did this because you see the bass player in the video, the guy standing in his room playing the one the link that I sent to you. Now, what's the timing there? Well, first of all, let's get the shape. The shape is this power chord shape. I'm going from 7th fret on low E string, sometimes getting the 9th fret on the A string, and sometimes getting the 9th fret on the D string. So if you put it all together, if you did it all at the same time, you'd have this power chord shape of root, 5th, octave. Okay, the timing, we're in 7/4 again. We're using 8th notes in 7/4, but they're not just grouped in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1 and 2. That grouping is they're all completely even, aren't they? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the grouping here, the feel is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah? So that adds up to 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Two lots of 6 and a 2. So 12 and 2, 14. 14 is 2 times 7. Yeah, it's double 7. So instead of counting, what we're doing there, instead of counting the crotchets of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we're counting the 8th notes. Yeah? Because we counted to 14 rather than 7. So we're not counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 1 and 2. Yeah? But the timing, like I said, it's not evenly spaced like that. Again, there's this thing of, beats aren't that simple. Often you'll get something in a timing, like 4/4 or 7/4, and then you'll have divisions of the beats within that which give you a sort of feeling of something going across the beat, or what they call a polyrhythm. So you got something going like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 da. For example, that's a very typical one. So my hand is going 1, 2, 3, 4, and my voice is going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. In that case, there's a very typical 4/4 rhythm, polyrhythm thing. The main beat is 4. Bang, 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 bang. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and are not grouped just like 2 8th notes per beat. As that is the case, I mean, that's what's happening. That is what is there musically, 1 and 2 and 3. But they're grouped to, the emphases are in such a place within the bar that you get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but instead of counting it like that, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, which is quite difficult to do. People divide it and get a sense of, it makes it easier for people to know where the emphasis is if they divide it into these groups of smaller numbers that they can easily say and remember and feel as well. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Then I know that the emphasis is always on 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It's the same as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. They're both valuable things to do. I mean, both ways of doing it are valuable. I'm just saying that's how people will often group these emphases by using little groups of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now, I just did a diversion into an example from 4, 4 because that's in my head, because I'm more used to 4, 4 as well. And what I was saying was that, yeah, this is something that happens across the board in time signature of 4/4 and also in 7/4. And that's what you see the guy playing after the end of that first chorus. He goes, whichever note he's playing here, he is just playing either the 9th fret of the A string or the 9th fret of the D string. The point is the timing, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I'm playing on the 1 and the 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then in the last grouping on both the 1 and the 2. And that gives me this sound. Yeah, and you can see, hopefully that's okay. I know it's all quite a lot to take in. And good Lord, half an hour, I will stop. And you can see the way I'm picking it, I'm doing alternate fingers. I'm always using my first finger for the E string, and I'm always using my second finger for the A string. So and then when it's the E string and the D string, I'm using my first finger again for the E string and my second finger for the D string. Yeah, I find that easier. You could do that thing of pluck, pluck, and rake back so that your second finger is, for example, plucking both the A string and then pulling back onto the E string as well. And there's nothing wrong with that, but just in this case, I just find it easier to do the alternating fingers. So you can experiment with that and find which way you find easiest. Right, that was it's quite difficult, isn't it? It's the actual what you're playing is easy. Just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 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 and 1. It's all about the timing. Because we're not used to it, you might find that difficult. So hopefully I've explained that. I know it took a long time, but it is quite an involved subject. Hopefully you're okay with that, and keep watching the video that I've sent you the link to of the guy playing in his room, playing along to the song. Keep watching that and try playing along to it. Now you know the notes that he's playing. Yeah, now you know the notes that he's playing. He's playing, like I said, fret 7 of the low E string, then he goes down to fret 4, then he comes back to fret 7, then he goes down to fret 4, then he goes to the A string, fret 7, then he goes to the A string, fret 4, and then you get the difficult timing bit where there's a pause and then there's 2 bars of 4/4. First bar of 4/4, like I said, the bass player actually pauses. Sometimes you hear that sort of thing, which is, well, I'll just put my hand up here, anywhere really. Well, actually, I shouldn't say anywhere. A note that's in the scale, and we're in the scale of B major. So you could go up to the 12th fret of the thicker string, just pluck it, and then you do this thing. I don't know if you've done that before. Pluck, slide down, and then at some point you release the pressure so that the note just dies away. Yeah. But that's just sort of an expressive technique, and that happens in the first part of the first bar of 4/4, and in the second bar of 4/4 you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret on the A string, and then you're back to the 7th fret of the low E string, yeah, and you're back to the 7/4 time as well. Whew. Yeah, a lot. Okay, I hope that's okay. All right. Okay, take care.